A very good morning to all my dear friends. I am Prashant Mavani. I hope you all are doing good. Today is 22nd December 2020. Day is Tuesday. I would like to start today's discussion with this quote by one of the most outstanding, inspiring person of our country, APJ Abdul Kalam sir. Look at the sky. We are not alone. The whole universe is friendly to us and conspires only to give the best to those who dream and work. I strongly believe that your dream should be out of the world. It should be larger than you can think. Then you need to work on it. Just dreaming is not enough. You need to take action as well. And trust me, dear friends, when you dream big, when you take right action, when you give everything that you have to fulfill that dream, then you will find within few days, the universe, the world itself, very strangely, will help you. You find so many people, right? They started a journey, they started their studies, or they started their business, or whatever it is, right? And after a few days, you will find that someone helped that person with this and that. This is how the universe helps us. We are not alone in our journey, right? Someone is always there looking at us, right? And if we give our best, then that someone will give his or her best as well. With this, dear friends, we have some interesting articles on our table. Virus variant, this is a very important article. Then COVID retreat, it is also an important article. What's going on in Nepal? Then we have a very, very interesting, very, very important topic about cybersecurity. And then the last one is about education. Big Christmas sale is on all our smart courses. Heavy discounts are available, but it is valid till 25th December only. To find out more about our smart course, to find out more about our big Christmas sale, download StudyIQ mobile app on your phone. Virus variant. India suspends flights from UK till 31st December 2020. Dear friends, day before yesterday, one of my colleague Ankit Agrawal came out with this video, which is available on our channel, that this new variant is out of control in UK. Then yesterday we delivered a lecture about this news item, that India has suspended all flights coming from UK till 31st December 2020. And many other countries, a dozen countries in Europe, they have banned flights from UK. The main reason is a new variant of this coronavirus is identified. It is known as VUI 202012/01. The first variant under investigation in December 2020. It has 23 mutations in all. So there are various different mutations of this novel coronavirus. Now the thing is, dear friends, this is not something new. Right? It happens with every virus, right? Virus is, at the end of the day, a sort of living being, isn't it? As soon as it will find a body, it will get activated. So, just like you and I, right? The virus will also change. It has this capacity. I'm not going too much deep into it, but if your background is biology, then you'll be knowing more about this thing, like how it changes and what are the reasons behind it. But as far as general awareness and general studies is concerned, you should know that this is not something that we have never heard of. This is how it works. It happens with every virus and bacteria, right? You will find some sort of variations with them. Though a few of these are seen in the region of the virus that binds to the human receptor, a single mutation, that is N501Y has been found to increase the binding affinity, making the variant more transmissible. This is the problem with this new variant, that it is more transmissible. On 20th December, the COVID-19 Genomics UK Consortium, which identified the variant on 20th September, said the variant has been found growing in frequency since November 2020 and is responsible for an increased proportion of SARS-CoV-2 cases in the UK. Based on modeling, it has been found to be 70% more transmissible. But let me tell you one more thing, that this is based on modeling. We need to do more lab experiments on this thing, and then we can come out with a lab confirmation about this figure that we got from statistical as well as mathematical modeling. The European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control says that in a preliminary study, the variant has the potential to increase by over 0.4 the number of people a person can infect. All these things are based on modeling. There is no evidence as yet that it can cause any change in disease severity or increase the risk of reinfection. So this is a positive thing. So far we don't know, or so far we don't have any evidence that this new version is more dangerous. So that's a good thing. This also reminds us that we need to, and I'm sure this is a standard practice, that the scientific people or people associated with research on virus, they are continuously 24/7, 365 days, they are working on this thing. They are trying to identify if there are any changes in this virus and things like that. So this is something that we don't have to worry about too much. Right, we have a team, dedicated team around the world. They are working on this thing. That's their main job. That's their expertise, right? So that's a good thing. Now, as far as vaccine is concerned, now every one of us would be thinking, what about this new version? Do we have to make a new vaccine for this new version? Then let me tell you that no, we don't need the vaccine that we have, right? It is enough, because this N5015 and other mutations are found in the spike protein region of the virus, and it is unlikely that the mutations would make the two COVID vaccines that have secured emergency use approval and the ones in final stages of testing less effective. So COVID-19 vaccine is going to be enough. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it will be able to deal with all these new ups and downs and this new variants of new mutations, because the vaccine produces antibodies against many regions of the spike protein, and there is also the T cell immunity that would come into play to clear the virus. So it's a good thing. One thing that I would like to remind all of us is that this game is not over yet. This war is not over yet. In India as well, we may find various different mutation of this virus. So every one of us, right, around the world, we have to keep this thing in mind, that we should not give up non-pharmaceutical interventions, right? Wearing a mask, following hygiene standards, social distancing, all these things are very, very important for all of us, right? We should not, even after we get vaccine, right, we need to be a bit careful. To download the PDF of today's lecture, which I have already shared on my Telegram channel, right, all you have to do is join my Telegram channel. Hit the like button if you have learned something from today's discussion. Please don't forget to share this lecture with other students, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. COVID retreat. This one is from Times of India. Now the good news about our country as far as COVID virus or COVID cases is concerned is that we have observed a significant fall in India's COVID cases and death toll in past week. But that does not mean that we should stop wearing masks and stop maintaining social distancing and start celebrating. We should not make that mistakes, no. A new cases in December 13 to 20 week registered a steep 17% decline. So all these things are good news, and death toll as well last week was the lowest since mid-June. But we have to remind ourselves that we see countries like UK, Russia, South Africa, Spain, Thailand, USA, France, Germany, right? These countries, in the starting phase, they suffered a lot, and then there was a peak, and then there was a drop, and people in this country, they thought like everything is over. And that was their mistake. Like, for example, in UK and in Germany and other countries, they allowed pubs and everything, because this country is most of the time they are, throughout the year, like 8-9 months, they have colder months. So the pubs and structure over there is everything is packed over there. So if you visit a pub, it is very crowded place, right? So, and it is, heaters are going on. So just like air conditioned room in our country, right? They have heaters over there. So everything is packed. So you can imagine, like, it's a breeding ground for COVID transmission. So that's what happened over there. And the second wave was more severe. So we don't want to see that thing. And Uddhav Thackeray, Chief Minister of Maharashtra, has rightly said that masks will be mandatory for next 6 months, even if vaccination begins. And he's absolutely right. I thoroughly agree with him. Even after vaccination, we need to be very careful. Bill Gates is also right. He has said that it will be a tragic irony that on one side, vaccination is just around the corner and we are losing our lives. The reason why we are getting infected is because we are not, most of us, right, those of us who have been infected with COVID-19, somewhere we made mistake. One of my friend, I'll give you one example, right? One of my friend, he made a very big mistake. He followed everything, he used to wear mask and used to carry sanitizer, social distancing and everything. And he works in fire safety sector. So as far as health and safety is concerned, he is trained and alert and things. But what he made a mistake. One of his cousin, right? She is politician. Visited her, and they were traveling somewhere, and by mistake he used her water bottle to drink water, and that was his mistake. And after 1 or 2 days, the sister, right, my friend's cousin, she was COVID positive, and then he was tested, and then he found that he was also infected. And that was the only thing. He traveled with her and in a car and used the same water bottle. So this sort of small tiny mistakes can cost us, So we don't have, COVID vaccine is not that far from us. So, right, we need to be a bit careful here. We should not, and particularly if you have family members or, elderly people, then you need to be extra careful. I don't allow any person to enter my house these days, right? No one is allowed to enter my home, right? Because I have parents, right? Elderly parents, and I cannot take any risk at all. So now, and these days it's very easy. Early on it used to be very difficult, but these days you can clearly say no, because of COVID-19, sorry, we can meet somewhere else, or we can talk over the phone or have a video conversation rather than face-to-face conversation. So it's very easy these days. So make sure that you follow these things. These are important for every one of us. And this local administration, they are gearing up. They are forming task forces to coordinate the inoculation efforts, and the private healthcare will be robbed in as well. And I have this question for you guys, right? So what government is trying to achieve here is that what I think government will do is, all those people who cannot afford vaccine, they should be given, or they will be given free vaccine. And all those people who can afford a vaccine, they have to pay for it. So you will have two options, either go to private care or public care. Public care, it will be free. Private care, of course, you have to pay money. And I think this is logical. I think we have so many people in our country, so many families in our country, right? They can easily afford. Let's say if per family, if you have 4 members and if you have to pay 4,000 rupees, then I'm not saying everyone. Remember, I'm saying there are so many families, they can easily afford 4,000 rupees. This is a one-off course. You have to do it once in a lifetime or maybe once in a few years. So I don't think so this is going to be a big problem for so many families in our country, right? And of course, I strongly believe that those people who cannot afford, they should be given vaccine free of cost. Now the question is, what do you think about it? Right? Is it okay for government to ask those people who can afford vaccine to go to visit a private player and get those vaccination jab, and government should provide free to poor people? What do you think about it? I want to know. This is my thinking, right? I want to know, what do you think about it? I have one more question before I move on to next topic. Question is that India has invited a person as a chief guest of Republic Day 2020. Can you give me the name of that person? Stick your answer in the comment section. Now, crisis in Kathmandu. This one is about political crisis, and political crisis in Kathmandu is not something new. In past 2 decades, you see there has been many ups and downs. It was very challenging for this country to come out with a constitution. They finally came out with a constitution, and then as well we find this ups and downs. So the latest thing is that Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli said that there should be a fresh election in Nepal. And it's very interesting that the President Bidya Devi Bhandari has immediately accepted this suggestion of Prime Minister. Now, you know that Nepal is our neighboring country, dear friends. It is part of SARC as well, South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation. At present, if you see that we have 3 nations in this SARC region, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal, they are going through this political instability. So total we have 8 nations: Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal. Then Bhutan is politically stable. Bangladesh is politically stable. 7th nation is Sri Lanka, politically stable, and Maldives as well. There is political stability in the rest of these nations. Now, legal experts and politicians, they describe this decision taken by KP Sharma Oli as a constitutional coup. I'm going to be very brief here, but let me tell you, there was this merger of CPN, UN, Marxist-Leninists. So this is, let's say, Party A and Party B, that is CPN, Maoist Center. So they used to be against each other in the history, but later on they decided that they will merge after election, and they are like partners and things, So elections were fought. KP Sharma Oli, his party won the majority, and this, as decided earlier on, this 2 party A and B, they formed this merger and they were running the show. Now, it was decided that power will be shared between the leaders of 2 parties that merged, but Oli was not happy with decentralization of power. He kept all the powers with him, and in starting phase, his decisions, so many decisions were very wrong, and he was anti-India, and he said that because of him, these parties have won elections. So he said that he was confident that it was his popularity that has led them to this victory and things. So there was this clash in these 2, these 2 parties, this marriage between these 2 parties, and because of this thing, at present we see this situation that there are people in Nepal, they are demanding restoration of monarchy. There are people who are saying that these parties together, they have done nothing, and there are voices in Nepal, they have said that in first 2 years there were so many things. KP Sharma Oli promised too many things, but his party was not able to, his government was not able to deliver, and because of that thing he started diverting people's attention towards anti-India rhetoric and things like that. So as far as India is concerned, we have to wait and watch, right? We can support Nepal, and we will, of course, people of Nepal, and whatever Nepal demands from us, we will try our levels to deliver. But of course, we don't want to intervene. We will not interfere for sure. But lack of political stability is not good for the region. Keep that thing in mind. This is the big picture. Moving on, declare a cybersecurity emergency. This one is coming from Economic Times. Very strange, isn't it? Now, the thing is, I go through many newspapers on regular basis every morning. So I was able to identify this thing. Now, I'm not bragging about myself, but it's very strange, isn't it, that you find a very important topic in a financial or economical or business newspaper or a pink paper, right? That's what they are called, pink papers. So it's very strange. Normally, this this topic should be covered by Hindu or Times of India or maybe Indian Express or Millennium Post or Tribune or Statements or any other Statesman or any other newspaper. But anyway, we have it on our table, so that's a good thing now. It's very interesting and intriguing to find that around 50 organizations, including important departments of US government such as Treasury, State and Homeland Security, have been hacked. Now, hacking is not something new, but the strange thing is that for nearly 9 months, without these departments or their cyber guardians being aware of the transgress. Just imagine Home Ministry of our country, Union Home Ministry, one of the most important ministry when it comes to security. It deals with internal security and so many things are covered by Home Ministry. And then this news comes out that Home Ministry's website or Home Ministry's important departments website and important departments, important stuff was hijacked. And we were not aware about this thing for nearly 9 months. Just imagine, this is a very, very serious news item, isn't it? And we are talking about USA. USA is their department, they have this capability. They are very sharp when it comes to this sort of things. And after 9 months, they came to know about this fact that Treasury, State and Homeland Security, and not just that, their data associated with nuclear arsenal and so many other important agencies, their data was hacked by a third-party software. This indicates that this news item, this two things, right, about USA indicates that when it comes to our country, India, cybersecurity must be made one of the most important things as far as our national security is concerned. Right, and we need to take it a bit more seriously and on priority basis. The strange thing about this new attack on this, this whole thing took place because there is a network management tool called Orion. Now, Orion is developed and supplied by a software company called SolarWinds. Right, and SolarWinds is a legit company. So what these hackers did, it's like, if you're using iPhone or if you're using a Android based phone, then after every few months you get your software update. What will you do when you will get your next software update? Most of us, right, we will give it a go. We'll put our phone on charge and then we'll press this upgrade or install updates and we'll go to bed, and then in the morning time when we wake up, everything will be sorted, isn't it? So you do this thing because you know that this is coming from a legit source. It is your this Apple company or Google, or they are the ones who are giving you this new installation or new upgraded version of whatever software or your mobile phone or your app or whatever it is, right? So you will not go too much into detail. And that's what these hackers did. What they did is they targeted this Orion. Now, Orion is a network management tool used by so many departments, and they hacked this thing and they implanted a virus in this one. So this new upgrade or new version was offered. And because it has gone through all the security clearance and it was a legit source, these departments, they gave their green signal. And that's how this virus became part of, or that's how this, that's how they hacked their system. So this reminds us that nothing is secure, everything is suspect until tested and verified to be kosher or to be okay. And in our country, India, most of the things are getting digitized, and so many things are digitized we don't know about. For example, controlling our dam water, our electricity grid, our aeroplanes, and so many things, right? Our bank accounts, our share accounts, and so many things. So all these things are vulnerable to cyber attacks. And these days, cyber war is a new way of warfare. Modern warfare includes cyber war as well. They don't have to drop a bomb. All they will do is your enemies can shut off your share market. They can shut off your. They can open your dam control mechanism, and they will destroy so many villages. They will delete all your shares. They will delete all your bank details, and that's it. So many common people will be destroyed. So on war footing, what we need to do is buy all those best protection gear that is available for short term, and once we are secure, then we need to start developing indigenous capacity on war footing. Last one is about Monash. Monash is a name of university from Australia. Now, the new National Education Policy 2020 allows universities from top 100 category of the World University Ranking to operate in our country. It is called International Branch Campuses. So it's like Oxford University opening one branch in our country. So you don't have to go to UK to study in Oxford, right? You will get same Oxford University's branch in our country, much affordable, nearby your home, and you'll find you will get all the syllabus and everything will be supported by the main Oxford University. Sounds good idea, but we have success as well as failure stories, so we need to be a bit careful here. It's not a sort of cakewalk or easy thing, right? There are positives and negatives, pros and cons as far as this IBC is concerned. Now, cross-border education research team, that is CBERT, hosted at the State University of New York at Albany and Pennsylvania State University. They say that entity that is owned at least in part by a foreign higher education provider, operated in the name of the foreign education provider, provides an entire academic program substantially on site, leading to a degree awarded by the foreign education provider, is called IBC, that is this International Branch Campuses. Now, we find so many IBCs. There are 300 IBCs functioning in various different parts of the world. Most of them are from US, UK, Australia, France, Russia, and you find them in China, Malaysia, Qatar, Singapore, etc. And it's very intriguing to know that Indian private institutions are operating in Australia, Mauritius, Uzbekistan, Singapore, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and some other countries as well. Now, Australia's Monash University's branch campus has been there in South Africa from 2001 till 2019, and it's a very good example, the ups and downs of this Monash University. There are so many things that we can learn from it. Now, I'm being very brief here. So this Monash was allowed to open a branch in South Africa, and later on this Monash 75% was taken over by this institution called Laureate. It's an American institution. Now remember, Monash is top 100 university. It falls in this rankings of top 100 university. So very reputed. And then later on, this branch of South Africa was taken over by another company from USA. So the public nature of foreign university may not be reflected in its branch campus. Your main headquarter may have a different culture, may have that excellence, but it's not always necessary that you will find it in your branch. The second thing is merger and acquisition. You have this Oxford University in the starting phase, then later on someone else takes over that Oxford University branch in your country. So a private institution would be running it. Ensuring parity with the quality of programs offered at the home campus would be a challenge. It's not always necessary that you will find the same standard, same excellence. And you will not find the same teachers, right? Visiting faculties, yes, but you will not find them all teaching you all the time. So there are some sort of limitations. So the bottom line is that there are gaps, and this is not a foolproof system. So there are positives, negatives. We need to analyze them properly, and based on that we need to go ahead with this IBC permission. This one is important news item. There are other news items are important, but particularly make sure you go through this one and one more. This one, right? Very important. You need to remember all these 4 names. They can ask you a question about these 4 names, 4 games that are part of this Khelo India Youth Games 2021. And that's everything from my side. Make most out of this big Christmas sale. I will see you soon with daily financial news analysis. Till then, enjoy your studies. God bless you all. Jai Hind.